We just got sent a frog. This is okay. Let me see. I don't remember the name of the other site that we're getting people from. Oh, maybe it'll just be a short episode tonight. Matchmaker FM, that's what it's called. Why would you call it Matchmaker? It just sounds
I
like
have no
a
idea.
dating site, doesn't it? Give me anybody that I've talked to. He's not on here either. So these are the people that I've talked to. She signed up. I think she signed up to he's on the list, but I don't see here. This version sounds like it's slower for some reason. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tango Talks. And this is season 2, episode 18. And we will be talking with Zach Francis tonight about his book, Why Chefs Hate President Trump, But I Don't. Politics, Ego, and the Pressure Cooking of America's Elite Kitchens. So hopefully we'll get some fun insight on that. And, I guess we're just waiting for Zach to log in, unless he's here already. We have Raziel's with us tonight. Welcome, Raziel. So while we're waiting, how was your day today?
It was good.
We should do like a before show, like quick little video, so people can see how frantic we are trying to get everything.
Yeah, because we both come from other jobs. Then we come here and we're like, oh my gosh, we got to get in. We got to get signed in. We got to sign on.
It's been a year, but we still are always like, why isn't that working? We just used it a week ago. Why isn't it working?
Yeah.
Nobody comes in here and screws with anything, so everything should be working. But it doesn't work like that.
No, unfortunately.
So,
how was your day? Did you have a good day?
Yeah, it was crazy busy. We had a baseball classic is this weekend in Utica. Oh, we're gearing up for that. We have shirts and banners and stuff like that to do. Printed the banners today, but I got to cut them and grind them tomorrow.
Nice.
Okay. I always start the day off with, okay, I'm going to get everything done today. And then at 3:00, I look at the clock. I'm like, I'm not getting everything done today.
I know. And that part really stinks when you got like a carryover to the next day.
Yeah.
Because you got your checklist and it's like you get to the bottom and you're like, oh, this has got to go on tomorrow's work. I don't like that.
Yep. So, what was I going to say? Oh, so my drink today is, I told Steven, he said, you got to pick me up some more Angry Orchard hard cider. This is not it. What I like to do, this is not it. What I like to do in the summertime is I like to take a can of Angry Orchard or bottle and my Guinness, and I mix the two together.
Oh, nice.
So then I end up with like different versions of Angry Guinness. Yes. But this is just 2 beers poured into a
big glass.
Where am I?
There you go. Yeah. Love it.
So that'll be my drink tonight.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm drinking vitamin water tonight.
Make me out to be the bad one. Everybody does. It's
Why? Okay. Why there's no reason for me to be drinking vitamin water tonight. I just am. Just have it. Before, it's like when I was so sick, I was like on antibiotics and doing all the things. So it's like you can't really drink. But there's no reason for me.
I want to know why. How come your camera is so clear and my camera looks like I'm looking through grainy paper?
I really think it's the lighting. I think it's the lighting over there. You got that red light over your head.
Think so?
Yeah. And I wonder if
I
wonder if it's the natural light coming in too.
It could be. It could be a mixture of the two.
Yeah.
Could very well be. I got to close the curtain today, so I don't know if we're going to pick up additional
hopefully
heater sounds. I don't know if we even need it, do we?
The heat?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm good, but I'm always hot.
Yes, you are.
That's right.
Okay, so still, I hope this isn't a third no-show. See anybody here yet? Well, that will be sad.
I hope it. We'll give them a couple minutes.
So anyways, more about this book that we are hopefully going to be discussing tonight. It was written in 2026 as a memoir. He uses his experience as a former Michelin-starred chef to explore the political tensions, egos, and cultural conflicts within high-end restaurants. There's an offering an insider perspective on why many in the industry oppose Donald Trump. So I'm hoping that this isn't going to become a very political show, because that's not what we are.
No.
I thought the book was interesting, but I don't want to get into a
political debate.
Correct.
Yeah.
That'll make me nervous.
No, it does say why he doesn't hate Donald Trump. So
correct.
It probably is.
But I'm sure in some of those big elite kitchens, though, like look at the, I mean, even look at Hell's Kitchen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know they amp some of it up for the show and stuff like that, but there's got to be a percentage of it that's correct. I'm
I
imagining.
would think so. Well, think about it. I mean, you've got a lot of egos playing there
Oh, yeah.
because it's like, and why not? I'm not saying anything bad against the ego part of it too, because if you're coming up with your own recipes and you have some of these people have restaurants, and they're trying to, kind of rule the market on some of their dishes. So why wouldn't you be a little bit on the arrogant side? I'm sure it's a pretty rough market too, that industry.
I just updated your tag. Did it update over there?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
See, again, when we got time to learn stuff, it's like, oh, we could do that. I like that.
Yeah. We send an email.
We don't have an email for them. I don't think, unless there's one on here that we can get, because it came from TalkCO.
But they don't send an email? Like, how do you send them
No, let
something?
me check maybe we've got something in the Duno, because seriously, some of these people were not using the actual sign up form, so I had to put them in the system myself.
Oh,
So I don't have their information, but let me check. I mean, it could be 100%. Hope not. Yeah, he was definitely on for tonight. I do have an email for him. I almost thought we had a phone number. I was going to call him, like, dude, where are you? What's he doing? Trying to nail down our hosts, our guests. Oh, we'll see what happens. Sorry, everybody.
yeah. So maybe
I think
you'll.
this is probably like the third week in a row that we made people wait, and hope you forgive us. It's not us. We're on time. We're just having issues with people being able to follow the chain over to the new layout. Oh, yeah. It did say he came from Podmatch, though. Unless he,
Yeah, but I didn't see any of
yeah, I
that
didn't see him on
information
there
on
either.
there.
Unless he canceled his account or something. Yeah, because he should be there. Oh well. Again, apologize, but you can enjoy watching me drink my nice big glass of beer.
I don't think they're going to want to see everybody drinking beer tonight.
Angela, let me check. I can check messages, see if he did in fact interact on here. Looked like he was from here. Let me see. I feel like we should just pause and put music on.
Yeah, maybe they want to hear our FM station.
It's something playing. Apologies, everybody. If anybody's got something they want to say, chime in. We just got sent a frog. This is depressing. Okay, let me see here. I don't remember the name of the other site that we're getting people from. Well, maybe it'll just be a short episode tonight, and we'll just Matchmaker FM. That's what it's called. Why would you call it Matchmaker? It just sounds
I
like
have no
a
idea.
dating site, doesn't it?
Here you go.
Give me anybody that I've talked to. See, he's not on here either. So these are the people that I've talked to. She signed up. I think she signed up to he's on the list, but I don't see him here. Everybody enjoying the show so far? Well, at least we get to edit it before it goes to production.
Yeah, so those are listening are just suffering a little bit through this.
Sorry.
Sure. Like it.
All right, we'll send you special stuff. If you're a sponsor, just raise your hand.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, this one too. We're not going to see.
Okay, so we're 15 minutes in. Do we want to talk about? Let's talk about some other things. Like, I can't believe it's already the end of April. We're already heading right into May.
Yeah, this is the last week.
Yeah,
It's the last episode
Friday.
of the month.
Yeah, Friday's the 1st of May. May Day.
And we have our friend has his birthday next week. I believe it's Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. Cool. Yeah. That's a big tequila day.
See, you and I should be taking that day off.
I know. We should take that day off.
Sit around, jot down some ideas, but we'll just drink tequila all day.
It's in the middle of the week.
Oh, crap.
It's a Tuesday, I believe. Actually, is it a Tuesday? We'll be here. We'll be here at Cinco de Mayo. Let's look, shall we? Yeah, it is a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. And it's our show because it's the first show of the month. So that would be I don't know if that'd be our break.
No, it isn't. We have a guest.
We have a guest?
On Cinco de Mayo, we do.
He must have snuck in before I was able to lock down our days.
That's okay. Cinco de Mayo.
I don't know what Raziel thinks is so funny that we're sitting here trying to figure out what to say on our own podcast show. I really got to get in the habit of coming up with a backup plan,
Yeah. Sorry. What do we want to fill anybody in on? Do we have any new things going on in our shop? Do we have any new things in our shop going on?
I don't. I just dead. I'm just
Kurt,
dead. Jeez, I'm sorry, everybody. This one really caught me.
totally off guard, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't, like I said, I can't get back into these all these other places that we decided not to use because they weren't supplying us with the type of guests that we wanted.
Right, right.
Raziel's had enough.
Later. Yeah. Well, honestly, this is it. We got into podcasting and we're learning the ropes as we go along. And unfortunately, we're going to have bumps and grinds. And, some of the stuff is going to get edited. And those of
This
you,
whole episode,
yeah,
this
and
episode's gonna be
those,
our opening,
yeah,
a little bit like maybe 5 words, and then the closing. It's gonna be
yeah.
done.
And then we'll have the editing. But those of you that are here with us today
Have to suffer
I
through
just
it.
are suffering through
Or
that.
I've just decided like Raziel, just like, yeah, I suffered enough. My ears are bleeding now. I'm gonna
I know that was
take
rough
an aspirin.
because it's already we were 18 minutes into it trying to figure it out. But we're sorry for that. But we could talk a little bit about our podcasting just in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people, I've been trying to tell as many people as possible that we've expanded the podcast show to include now we have our own radio station.
Yes.
So we've got basically right now it's only like 2 weeks old, so it's pretty much just our old episodes of the podcast that are on rerun 24/7.
Yep.
And we've got one local band who's submitted 3 songs to us. They're in the rotation. And if you're a local band and you want to send us your information, your songs, we'll be more than happy to put them up on there. We're doing everything for free right now. Once we get up and going, of course, that just like with the podcast here, things start to change as we start gathering up clients and
Building a name.
we're already up to almost 1,000 streams again on the new format, the new host, which we're using riverside.com right now. And it's threw us for a loop for a while. We had to relearn everything all over again, but we're up and running. I don't think we're ever going to have a show where in the beginning it's just going to be like, time to go, let's go, action.
Yeah.
There's always something. And
Yeah.
a lot of times it's not even our fault. It's other people. It's trying to get the sound balanced out because either they have echo on or what I mean, and it's causing a feedback or something like that. But we managed to always get it worked out, and we try to edit it out before we publish it. The shows get published on Thursdays, and by then we've cleaned it up. We've added in our little advertising and marketing and sponsors and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Eventually it would be nice to get to the point where, we can do the sponsors live right into the show. But I don't know how you would do that with because if they're not using video, it's not like we can pop up a thing that says going to commercial.
Well, I mean, we don't know that for a fact. I mean, those are things that we would maybe try
Right.
later when we become a little bit more well versed in the podcasting realm.
Well, we do know that they can
There's
see
certain
things
things.
if they're using video, they can see things
Right,
pop up on the
right.
screen.
Yeah.
But if they're just doing audio with us and we're the only ones doing video, then yeah, they obviously can't see anything like that. So we'd have to figure out how do we do the interruption. Do we just wait for a slight break and say, hey, we'll be right back with you and
Mhm.
and do our commercial and then
And
come
do a
back.
commercial
What I mean?
break and come back.
We'll just have to see how they feel waiting. What I mean? We should probably listen to a couple of live shows to see like how they handle it. How do they handle the break? Because most of the shows I listen to are pre-recorded. I mean, because they go through and add in all their advertising and stuff like that. But there have to be some of them that are live.
Yeah. I've listened
Unless they do
to
it at the end.
Yeah, I've listened to some live ones and some of them actually just they just do a little, now it's time for our sponsors or now it's time for whatever. And they just, have something that passes across the screen for
I
a
wonder if we
second.
could, yeah, I wonder if it's something. I wonder if we could just do like today's show sponsored. If you don't have if you're not live, you're not going to see anything I'm doing. You're just going to hear me mumbling. We're testing out running a ad script along the bottom of the show during the live show.
Yeah.
So today's show is sponsored by, we'll say, we'll give CNY a plug.
Not us, you.
There you go. So
Well, that's cool.
now it's clickable on here. I don't know if it's clickable when like on YouTube, which would be cool if it was clickable on YouTube, So maybe that's how we just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can set these for so you get a 10-second spot. It's just, you click it.
There you go. That's cool. So I think that's the hardest part when it comes to some of these podcast things that we're doing is you have to learn about it while you're on air.
Well, and the
Because
hard thing is like you just saw me. So it's like you want to do all these little promos and stuff like that, subscribe and follow and all these things. But when you're trying to do it live, you know what I mean? I'm looking over here trying to follow things on the menu to do pop-ups and stuff. And you're either reading off from something or trying to keep the entertainment going while I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah. So
But
it's a little bit of a rough go, but I mean, you got to think by 2 years, we got to be once we get to our 2 year mark, we got to be really well versed in this. I just feel like there's so many things that we're still learning as we go along. It may be totally different for somebody who's been like, who are media majors,
right.
and have been in some type of radio or whatever prior to actually doing a podcast. They might feel really comfortable just doing a lot of these things. Um, yeah, as they should, I mean, they're the ones that have the degrees with it, but
Right, we've
I,
only been doing it a year, and
yeah,
in the midst of that, we had to move our location 3 times.
yeah,
We had to build an entire, like, pod studio here with a curtain to block off the furnace sound,
yeah,
and then we had to drop our old, hosting company that we loved and start a new one, learn all their software, how to get it to work, and
yeah,
there's so many things in there I'm not even using. There's just I mean, there's a ton of, you know choices in there, and I'm still learning or just learned 2 things today. But,
yeah,
it just feels like a setback all the time, you know what I mean? Like, you just want it to
yeah.
but hopefully at the end of this year, I'm hoping that we come in and it's just boom, 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 and the show runs good.
Will be good. I think it will be. I think there's just a lot to know about podcasting and everybody's doing it and
They really are.
like we say all the time, this is a podcast about life in general and these are the things that normal people come in contact with, you know? Like
Right,
if you're seeking out to do a podcast and you're not in some sort of media already, then these are the same things you're facing. You
right.
have to be.
Yeah.
There's no way that everybody's out there and they're just like they know exactly what they're doing if they've never even had any type of interaction with
Right, unless you've already
any
been in media,
and
if
yeah,
you worked for a television station or another radio station or something, you know what I mean? Something in broadcast media or went
right.
to school for it, then
Yeah.
you're like us, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're just clicking buttons,
You're
hoping
just
something
clicking.
works.
Yeah, and, it's like we always say too, we enjoy each other's company, so a lot of times we're just, talking and being ourselves, and, that's what our show's all about too, it's us talking about everyday stuff, and for us, this is our everyday stuff, like, we decided that we were gonna do this podcast, and here we are faced with, the tortures of a new system, and I don't mean that in a bad way, I'm just
No, it's
saying,
just,
like, we
yeah, and then, of course, I'm here 2 full days on Mondays and Fridays, so sometimes I do stuff, then you come and you're like, "What are we doing now? Because that's not how I left it."
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Well, and it's like I've shared with our audience before, I'm not as tech savvy as you are because I don't do that as like that's not like my only job, Whereas you are a little bit more tech savvy when it comes to stuff and you can pretty much troubleshoot a lot of the just anything that comes up, which is
well,
great, because
not
we
really.
need
It's
that.
it's a lot of frantic button clicking, especially in the beginning of the show,
Yeah,
and
but
I'm
at
like,
least you know what buttons to click. I'd be signing off and signing back on, and
I
I'd be like, I'm that person, like, "Can you hear me? Do you hear me?"
I know what buttons to push with my husband.
Yeah, you and I both.
I know how to get that going and started pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, I thought Razio left. He just responded, "Yupper."
That's really funny.
But, yeah, I really enjoy this. I think right now we're still struggling a little bit with, like, absorbing the customers from the company we bought out and the printing,
Mhm.
and, it's a lot of I love the person we bought the company from dearly. She's a great friend, always will be, but her filing system, I don't know how she did it. I don't understand it. It's all done by date, and, every time we get a customer that calls up, like, "Do you have, the last thing I did," I was like, "Can I call you tomorrow?" It's like,
Yeah, I gotta
you gotta
look
go
through
through a
all
whole
of
file
this.
cabinet in order
Yeah.
to find stuff, but, it is what it is, and
Yeah, but you know what? That's my specialty area. Those are the things that I can hone in on. I feel like I'm very productive. I'm all about order.
well, unfortunately, so am I. It's a lot of OCD,
Yeah.
and I'm constantly, changing settings on the computer or the keyboard or the mouse, or like I said before, I've probably got 12 different keyboards laying around here and 6 different mics because I'm such a fanatic about it. If it doesn't feel right, then I want to get rid of it. I like this keyboard though because it's quiet. So if I'm typing during the show, you
You can't really hear
can't
it.
hear. I've
Where
got
this one's a little more
right,
clicky-clacking.
and then there's one under the desk that I really, really love, but it's like an old typewriter keys. So when you
Oh,
click on it, it's like
well, I love that too because, like, if you're trying to pretend like you're working really hard, you can, like yeah, you can make it sound at least like you're working really hard. No, I can't talk right now.
right.
I'm too busy.
I'm
I'm
working.
sending out too many emails and I'm trying to get all kinds of things done. Don't bother me right now.
Well, let's see. I think I'll still give even though he didn't show up because we don't know what the real reason is. And again, we only use Podmatch right now, or if people contact us directly to be on the show. It was too confusing using 3 people on there.
Yeah.
So I believe this is the last one. Excuse me. So we should be set. Hopefully, there are no more forgotten episodes, and we're starting to put in. We're going to put some code in that sends out a reminder to these people like a week before and then the day before to let them know that, hey, you've scheduled time with us.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be here, let us know.
Just let
We
us
had
know. Yeah.
2 people that were kind and said, can I reschedule? So they
Yeah.
got rescheduled,
Yep.
but this is like the 3rd person who just didn't even bother to show up. But again, I'm not,
Yeah, but we don't,
we
like you
don't know
said,
what,
we don't know if
yeah.
that's the case.
But anyways, if you're interested in Zach's book, you can find that on Amazon, and it's called Why Chefs Hate President Trump, But I Don't. And it's politics, ego, and the pressure cooking of America's elite kitchens, told by a Michelin star chef. So you can it's available in Kindle version, audiobook, and paperback. So go check it out. I'm sure it's an interesting read, and we would have loved to have discussed it more tonight with Zach, but maybe we can get him back on again.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure he contacted us. So there had to be, I'm sure it's the whole mess of changing host and stuff. Let me just check email here really quick, see if we got a response from him. 'Cause that would be rude. Him being like, "Yeah, where do I gotta go?" Click. Nowheres. We're done. Yeah, no response. So we'll reach out to him and see if we can get him back in here again. Uh, Um, you know, we can talk about that book, or he's got several books, so we could talk about a
Yeah, we
couple
can
other.
discuss a lot of things.
Right.
And of course, he's a chef, so that'll be interesting just to talk about his field of work.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Since considering you and I are really foodies, we
I am.
enjoy our
I
food.
definitely enjoy that is what it is, but, this is our 3rd time. We had to apologize to people, and hopefully it's the last time because I do like talking with our guests. We've talked about the last show, how much we enjoy
Yeah, we
talking to them,
actually do enjoy
and,
talking to our guests.
I guess we just have to do better with having, like, backup
Yeah.
plan. You just think that you're just assured that they're gonna be here, and then
I
3
see.
times
So
we've gotta start learning
I
that
know
because this
we
is the
got to
3rd time we
figure
got slapped in the face, but
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
what it is.
Well,
It's
you
still
know
fun.
what? You guys see, here we are, us, Tango and Angela in the real. This is exactly, what
Happens in
happens.
life.
Yep.
Unexpected
Unexpected
shit.
twists. Yep. Yep.
But,
So here
we
you go.
are live streaming to 4 places now, maybe 5. So we are well, no, 4 additional places. So we are on, obviously, Riverside,
Yep.
or if you go to our site, you should be able to see the live show there. Live streaming on Twitter as it happens, LinkedIn, Facebook profile, and Tango Talks Live on YouTube. I think there are also some other ones that aren't listed on here because they're custom spots. But yeah, so when we record this is happening live on 5 other streams.
Which is great. I
So
love
just
that.
I gotta get back to doing like the weekend post, let people know what's coming up for the week. So speaking of which, next week we have calendar. That's why I should never close stuff down when I'm here. Okay. So that was Zach. So next week we have Coley Cutler, and I believe he's going to talk about. I think he wrote a book called For the Love of Stephen, and it talks about his brother. His
Okay.
brother had some developmental issues.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So he talks about that. So I think that'd be an interesting one. And after that, we have some of these names. I apologize. I'm hoping I'm saying them right. but I don't even know how to say it. Moti Alkane,
Mhm.
and he will be see if we got more information on these. So these all say Podbean. Just hoping it's not a problem. I don't remember what he's going to talk about. It doesn't say in here
Well, that's all right. We'll have
what it
some more
was.
time to talk to
Yeah,
bring those up,
I'm gonna
and we're
update
gonna
this to include more information in it.
because we do have a few minutes to like do our homework, and we try to if there's something that we could be watching or something that we could be reading or whatever, we try to do that
Correct.
before the show so that we have something to talk about with our guests.
Well, I just feel bad. I thought I changed all these. Maybe I didn't. But anyways, I've got a lot of homework to do, everybody. I gotta update next 15 shows with correct links, and hopefully they get them. And
Yeah.
this is so much fun. I guess that's it for tonight. And I just feel bad. I don't have. I'm not somebody who has information off the top of their head that can just talk. You know.
Okay. Well, until
I guess until next time,
is
hopefully
it?
we have a
Yeah.
guest or we're prepared better. Skull.
Skull.
Thanks everybody for listening and are being patient with us. And again, apologies, and we'll see if we can get Zach back in the rotation again. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Bye.